Hey folks, so welcome back to Algebra 2. We're going to be continuing with Chapter 6 today. We're going to be talking about arithmetic sequences. So arithmetic sequences, you may remember from Algebra 1, but we're going to get a fresh look at it because we're going to be talking about arithmetic series later. Let's refresh your memory with this, folks. So the following are sequences. They are ordered lists of numbers. So if we are going to talk about this one, it's going up by plus 3 each time. 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 plus 3 is 10. If we were to talk about this one, 12 minus 2 is 10, 10 minus 2 is 8, 8 minus 2 is 6, 6 minus 2 is 4, blah, blah, blah. You can even see that it goes into the negatives. Perfectly fine either way. These are called arithmetic sequences because we're doing arithmetic, addition or subtraction, to find the next term. Now, that set amount that they change each time, this top one changing by 3, the bottom one is changing by minus 2, that's called the common difference. That's pretty important. It's common because all the terms have it, and a difference because we're subtracting each time. Now, you can also say, but wait a second, we just added in that first one over here. Yeah, but we don't have to add. We're going to just call it the common difference. And this is how it's presented on your regents. So we can have, I really hope this video isn't blocking it, an minus 1 is equal to d. All that says is a term minus the term before it is equal to the common difference. And we can see that up here. The 4 minus 1 is 3. The 7 minus 4 is 3. The 10 minus 7 is 3. We can see it here. Negative 2 minus 0 is minus 2. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. It works out. So arithmetic sequences also have an explicit expression which can get us our sequence. And this one is from the Regents reference sheet. It's rather nice. It hasn't changed in 8 or 9 years. So this is the explicit formula, remember, because you can just plug in n here. I don't have to find all the terms before it. If I want the 30th term, I plug in 30. If I want the 59th term, I plug in 59. And it uses d as our common difference, uses n as the number, the term number that we're trying to find, and it uses a1 as our current term, and an is used as the term we're at. Let's take a look. So for this sequence, we're going to first find the common difference, that's d. Then we're going to write the explicit equation, and then we're going to use that to find the 13th term. This is going to be really similar to what your delta math looks like. And down here, we have our sequence, 14, 11, 8, 5, 2, negative 1, so on and so forth. I'm already thinking the 13th term is going to be negative because we're already in the negatives and we just keep getting smaller. Let's take a look at what we're going to do. First, A, find the common difference. 11 minus the term before it, 14, well, that's going to be negative 3. 8 minus the term before it, 11, is going to be minus 3. 5 minus the term before it is, you got it, minus 3. So that tells us that D up here is going to just be our minus 3 that we just found by doing the subtraction. You should always get the same thing. If you're not getting the same thing, it might not be an arithmetic sequence. For B, we're going to write the explicit equation. So for this part, we're using the formula given to us. We have D, and then A1 is just always the first term. That's the 14 that's over here. And then AN, well, that's what we want to find. And then N, well, that's just part of the explicit. So plug everything in. This right here is our final explicit equation. You don't need to do anything more with it. You wouldn't be wrong if you distributed, but you don't have to. Last but not least, find the 13th term. So we're just going to do that by plugging in. We're told that we want to find the 13th term here. So that's why that's 13 and that's 13. We have the same common difference that we did before, the minus 3. And we have the same starting number that we did before, the 14. throw it into a calculator, do it by hand, I don't mind, but either way, you're going to wind up with this. A13 is going to equal negative 22. So here's example 2. I left it out so you can just, see a bit more as I go through. So I'm saving for a rainy day. Maybe I'm going to buy a bucket because it's raining. Yeah, that was a bad one, sorry. So, never mind. I, take $20 from my wallet and I put it in a jar and decide to add $2 every day. How many weeks will it take to buy a new book priced at $60? Well, this is our given information up here. We're told that we have the first term, we have the common difference, and we're told the last term we want. Big thing here is this is add $2 a day, and it's asked how many weeks. So be sure that you're answering the question which is asked instead of a different question. But I just plug everything in. Same as our formula from before. The 60 is what we want, the $60. The 20 is our first term. We don't know n, which is how many terms or days it's going to take, so we're going to have to figure that part out. And then 2, well, that's just by the common difference. And all that is given, remember, by this equation. So, simplify it. First, we distribute the 2. We combine some like terms down in this one. We subtract the 18 over in this one. We divide by 2 here. Now remember, the problem asks how many weeks, not days. Our answer is in days. So you just divide it by 7 and you get about 3.5 weeks. That's how many weeks it would take to save up that amount. So a bit of vocabulary before we move on. About the arithmetic mean. You might be saying, oh my goodness, I have no idea what this is. The arithmetic mean is just the mean. It's the mean that you've been using for years. It's just the average. You add the two numbers together, you divide by 2. Now we can make arithmetic sequences using arithmetic means. Here's an example. The average of 12 and 36 is 24. Well, 12, 24, and 36 is an arithmetic sequence. And if you don't believe me, you can just say, well, I can add 12 each time, and that's my common difference. I'm adding 12 each time. It's an arithmetic sequence. Now we can use this to find missing terms. What we need is the first term and some other term. If I know 2 terms in an arithmetic sequence, I can find anything. So for instance, if I know the first and the 15th, I can find all the ones in between the first and the 15th term. Let's take a look. Here we go. The first term in an arithmetic sequence is 10. 10, excuse me. And the 6th term is 30. We want to find the missing terms. Oh, that should be terms. My apologies, folks. So here's how we're going to do it. That's the information we have. I have a 1, I have a 6. Well, I'm going to plug it into that calculator up there, my formula, excuse me, not calculator. The 30 is here. This is coming from the fact that it's the 6th term. This is coming from the first term. I should do that in lighter blue. And then all of a sudden this goes from what's going on to I only have one unknown, the common difference. So let's find out what happens. Simplify the parentheses, subtract the 10, and divide the 5. We get our common difference is 4. So from there on out, you just start at the first one and you work your way forward. We get our 10 plus 4 is 14, 14 plus 4 is 18, 18 plus 4 is 22, 22 plus 4 is 26, and then 26 plus 4 is 30. It works out. It's an arithmetic sequence because it has a common difference, and we found our 4 missing terms. They're outlined there in yellow. So, your conclusion. You have a Delta Math problem set, you don't have a summary today, and you have a reading survey for next time. You might be asking, Mr. Gallagher, why don't we have a summary? We always have one. It's because you have a Flipgrid assignment, doo-dah, doo-dah. You're going to choose one of the following 2 and answer it on Flipgrid. I'll post this as a second separate assignment in Google Classroom, so that way it's very clear that both of them have to be done. They will both pop up on your to-do list, and I will also post both questions there and on Flipgrid. Here they are. You're going to choose one of these and answer either 20 or 21. There is no extra credit for answering both. So, if you have any questions, folks, you know where to find me, either in office hours or ask in the Zoom call that you are obviously still in, or you can check out any of the additional resources that I have posted. Have a great day, stay safe, and I will talk at you soon.